All right, so I'm Philip Irwin. This is the demo / presentation for Groups 1 final project. So what we're going to do here is create a new RapidMiner process, save the old one. All right, so let's get started. So the whole point of what we were doing with this project is that we are going to take a condition like heart disease, and we're going to see what types of variables affect that more than others. So that's kind of what we did here. And so this first one is going to be the logistic regression demo. So let's get started. So first we got to get the data, which the way I do it is I go to my downloads and I drag it in there. It is not where I thought it was. There we go. Part. And then the next step is we're going to, well, we don't have to connect that, but we're going to do replace missing values. So the system doesn't break. And then we're going to then do nominal to binomial. And in this one, we are going to click in there. We're going to change attribute filter type to subset. On the subset one, we're going to then add sex as our attribute. And then the next one is going to be numerical to binomial. With numerical, binomial will be doing a similar thing. We'll be changing it to subset, and then our attributes are going to be fasting blood sugar and heart disease. Okay, on that. And then the next step is going to be set role. So we're going to put right here. We will connect the two. The set role, we will edit list. We will give it a name like heart disease and change that to label. And then the last part on here is we're going to add cross validation at the end. So this will be here, connect that, and then we're going to connect all these. Each one. Sorry if there's a little background noise, it's a little noisy in here. All right, so we're going to double click into cross validation. And then what we're going to do from here is we're going to add logistic regression onto the training side. Got it right there, bring this over here. And then the next side, we're going to add the apply model. With these two, and performance. And then these ones get added to the opposite right here, like that. And then that is going to be it for this one. We'll go back to process. Everything's ready to go. And then we're going to hit run. And there we have it. This is our performance vector. We got an 86.38% accuracy with a plus or minus 2.73. The logistic regression model here's all the data with the coefficients. It shows the standard coefficient, errors, z-value, p-value, where you can see all that stuff right here. And then the next one we're going to move on to is we're going to close these. We're just going to go back to design. And then we're going to go into cross validation. And from here, we're going to just delete everything so that I can do it again with the for the KNN. So with this one, we're going to start with forward selection. Again, I apologize for the noise. I had to come to a public space. My internet was not working. After forward selection, we're going to add KNN right next to it, both on the training side. Connect these. And then on the testing side, we're going to add the apply model, like we did with logistical regression. We're going to connect these two. And then also we're going to add performance again as well. And then again, we're going to be doing cross. There we go. And then after that, we're going to go inside of the forward selection. And here we're going to add another KNN right here. Sorry, not yet. Forward selection, we're going to add another cross validation. Let's see, this is supposed to be put it over here. Let's see, what is going on? Give me 1 second. So we are going to go into cross validation first, see if that'll fix the error we have going on. So in here, we're going to add another KNN. This will be KNN2, connect it right here. And then again on the testing side, the same that we've done before. It's going to be apply model. Let's make that up. Connect these two. Whoops. Excellent. There we are. And then performance again, which is right here. Okay, top one, and then we were going to do the opposite corners. There we go. Let's go back to here. And that fixed our error. So we're then going to go all the way back here. Everything looks good. I'm going to run this. And while it's running, I'm going to pause the video because, as we all know, KNN takes about forever to get it going or to finish. All right, so here's the performance vector for the KNN that we ran, accuracy of 82.79 with a plus and minus of 4.78. We go in here, we can see that's the example set roll. Let's see. Well, 918 examples of true or false. I think that's pretty much. Oh. Here's the confusion matrix with the false and truths. All right, so next we are going to close. So this is all done for the KNN. The third thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to design. We're going to delete that because we don't really need it. Let's slide these over. Double checking here, see our attributes are still sex for nominal binomial, and numerical binomial is still fasting blood sugar and heart disease. Our set roll is still going to be There it is. Heart disease set as label. And then what we're going to do from here is a little bit different. Let's also delete this cross-validation. And we're going to delete that line as well. So next step for the decision tree is we're going to add multiple or multiply, which is right here. We're going to connect that. And then we're also going to add a new cross validation right here. We're going to connect this. And then we're going to do 1, 2, and then we're going to add the fourth one to there. And then what we're going to add as well is we're going to add decision tree. We're going to put that down here because it's going to be connecting around the cross validation. So we want to be able to see what's going on. So then we're going to connect that right there. And then we're going to go into the cross validation. We're going to add another decision tree on the training side. Go ahead and connect these up. And then as we did with the logistical regression and the KNN, we're going to add the apply model to the testing side. Go ahead and connect these. And then also, again, we're going to add performance. Right here. Connect this over. And then we're going to cross these like we did before. And I think that looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to process and we're going to run the decision tree model. So here, as you can see, we have, oh, that's big. We have the whole decision tree. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, geez. We got all this going on. And that's decision tree 1. And then here we have the second decision tree that we added. So you can see it all. And then we have the example set here and our performance vector where we got 83.56% accuracy with a plus or minus of 5%. And that is everything for the demo on rapid minor process. And next we're going to do the Tableau. All right, so now that we're in Tableau, we're going to connect to the data, which is right here. I'm going to open that up so we have access to all the heart.csv data. We're going to go into here to sheet 1 and create our first graphic. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to choose some attributes for put in the column. We're going to do sex and chest pain. And then on rows, we're going to add the heart disease right there. That gives us a little bit of what we're looking at. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to add this heart disease again here and label it as well. And then the next step is we're going to add age on the color so we can get a little bit of a color variation going on here and it can get easier to see. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it this time from sum, and we're going to make it average. So now that you can see the average ages of people, male on this side, female on this side, their heart disease, and the chest pain type, which is at the bottom. And that is going to be graph number 1. All right. So we're going to go down here and we are going to add a new worksheet so we can do a second visual. And this one is going to be a little different than the last one we did. This time we're going to go ahead and put chest pain up here in the columns. And then we're going to put age here. We're going to change this to average because we want the average age. Makes it a lot more simple. to read. And then we're going to add where's cholesterol right here, also to rows. We're going to change those to average as well. And then the last row that we were going to add is going to be resting blood pressure. And we're going to change that to average as well. Just so we're the same across the board. And this is kind of what we got going on right now. The other thing we're going to do is that we don't have from the last one is the sex. So what we're going to do is we're going to take sex, we're going to add it to color to give these a little bit different representation of color. And you can click on these over here and see what, if you want to look at only male or you want to look at only female, you kind of get the option to look in there and see those individually. And that is going to be it for the second visual. And then now we are going to work on the third one. All right, so for this visual, this is the third one, we are going to be adding sex to columns as well as our ST slope. And then we're going to add heart disease to our rows. We're going to change it to average again. And then we're going to add old peak to rows as well. The heart disease is going to stay some. The old peak is going to become average. And then we are also going to take age and we are going to add it right here, get a little bit of a contrast going. And then we got to change the age to average as well. Then we're going to add in resting blood pressure. We can just do that per label. We're also going to change that again to average. There we go. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we could change this. Let's see. Line graphs going on here. So you can kind of see what's going on. I think we also need, let's see. That looks a little bit better. We'll put ST slope first, and then we're going to change this over here. I think this looks a lot better. So this is kind of what we got going on. It shows the ST slope and the values at the end of each. I think the line graph makes it look a little better than the bar graph does, in my opinion. I don't think any of the other ones really make a whole lot of sense. Still, let's look. This area looks like this one. I mean, yeah, that looks good too. I like both. All right, so that's going to be it for the next visual. What we're going to do here is we are going to start with, let's see, resting ECG in our columns along with sex. And then we're going to add old peak again. Here, we're going to change it to average. And then we're going to add the max heart rate here. Also change the average. We get these couple of these bar graphs looking like this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add age to color just so we can also see it a little bit differently. Of course, got to change this to average again. And we changed it to a circle graph so it looks a little bit like this. That's going to be our fourth visual. let's move on to the fifth one. So for this one, we're going to add, excuse me, we're going to add chest plate type of filters. We're going to click on ASY and ATA, and then that'll be the changes for that one. On the next one, another filter we're going to add is, let's see, what's next? Is going to be exercise angina, which we know is chest pain caused by exercise. Hit OK there. And then next, we're going to add in the ST slope. And we want all three of these, up, down, and flat. Gonna hit OK there. And then next, we will add sex to filters. And obviously, we do want both male and female. So the next one after this is going to be, we're going to be adding in measure names. We're gonna do everything except age count. Hit OK. And then what we're going to add into the mark section is we're going to add measure values right here for text, which makes this weird looking thing right here, but I think we're going to fix that here in a moment. Let's change up some of the measure values down here. So cholesterol is going to be average, some average here. Let's see, FASTs, heart disease, old peak, we want to average again as well. We also need to, let's see, average for resting blood pressure. And then we're going to add age in here as well. And we are going to change age to average. Let's see why this is not going correctly. Why is it doing this? Let's see. Let me look at it. Well, with a little help of another group member, I figured out my mistake, and it's pretty simple. What I didn't do was add measure names to the columns, which is why right here you see all the data is stacked on top of itself. So now that we add measure names, separates it out in a nice and neat column so we can see everything that's going on. And then next we will do sheet 6. All right, so for our final visual, we are going to go ahead and add exercise and gene at the columns as well as sex. And then for the rows, we're going to do average resting blood pressure. So we'll have to change this to average. And then we're going to do fasting, blood sugar, and heart disease. And both of those can stay as sums. This is what we got so far. We're going to give it a little bit of color and also add in another variable, which is going to be age. We do that by adding it to right here into color. And this is what we get. So with all 6 of these, we can go to a new dashboard, and then boom. So now we got all 6 of these added in here. Let's see, sheet 6 is 2 columns. So we got these 2 columns right here. You can see you should put this one up here at the top. I believe we can make it a little smaller. Oh. Nope. Nope. I want to make this a little bit smaller. Yes, not. That'll be fine. Let's see. These we can bring down just a little bit. Let's bring these up. That's still not working. Let's bring it down some more. We have filters over here. You can see everything at once, base male and female. This is what the dashboard looks like. So that is pretty much it for the presentation. We did the visuals through Tableau, all these different visuals here. And then the other thing that we did is we did rapid minor, we did the KNN, the decision tree model, and we did logistic regression. And that will pretty much cover the final group project. So thank you for your time.